Hey, my name is Samar. I also go by Sam or First Time Panner, and any of those you want to call me, you can. This will be another video in my 2 Looks 1 Palette series. It's pretty self-explanatory. Every month I come back and I pick a palette. Well, actually, this month someone else picked it. But I have a palette that is not already being used in another project this year. And I just do two different looks, one on each eye with that palette, just like for no reason. I tend not to go out with these looks with like two completely different eyeshadow looks on my eyes, although I have a few times. But it's just supposed to be something fun, something to like be just fun and creative, and get use out of my eyeshadow palettes for this year. Last month for January, I used my Pat McGrath Labs Interstellar Icon little quad, and that was a really fun video. I really loved both looks that I did, and at the end of that video I asked if anyone had any suggestions for this series, and someone did suggest the Dose of Color She's a 10 palette. And I do technically have all of my Dose of Colors palettes in my Project Level Up Light that I'm doing this year, but I said if I didn't randomize it for level 2, spoiler, I'm on level 2 now, then I would use this palette for February as requested. So here it is. This is I'm just gonna be spoiling a lot in this video, I guess, but basically, if you haven't seen my eyeshadow palette tournament and you want to, go pause this video and go watch it now. But this was the winner for my eyeshadow palette tournament. So at the time that I did this video last year with all 64 of my eyeshadow palettes, this was the winner. So this was, based on the ranking, my favorite palette in my eyeshadow collection. And yeah, I just truly love this palette. I'm pretty sure it is still available on the Dose of Colors website, so if you don't have this and this looks like a good color story to you, you can check this out. Just like search my different playlists. I feature this in a lot of different videos, or look it up online if you're interested in this. But personally, I highly recommend it, and I'm gonna do 2 different looks, of course, with this palette. I have a cool look going on already. I don't have any eye makeup on, of course, but I think, or at least I'm gonna try to do cool tone looks for both of these eyeshadow looks, except I know for sure that I want to use the shade Toast, because this is like my favorite non-matte shade in this palette, so I think I do want to use that one. But maybe I'll do like cool tone matte. I don't usually mix tones, but I don't know, that's what I'm feeling right now. It's not a serious video. Before I start anything, I'm gonna prime both eyes with my Milani eyeshadow primer. Okay, eyeshadow primer is on. That always feels weird because I usually do my eyes first, and I've like kind of trained myself not to touch my face once my makeup is on so I don't ruin it. So like my hand was like, don't do it, you have your makeup on, don't touch your eyes. Anyway, that's just me rambling again. I'm the queen of talking about not important things and just wasting time in these videos. And all of my brushes, of course, are dirty, but I'm just gonna use this Real Techniques, I don't know, fluffy-ish brush, and I'm gonna use this shade Tas Tari. I'm gonna try to remember to only do one of my eyes, but I seem to have a problem with that pretty much every time I do 2 looks 1 palette, so hopefully I don't have to wipe anything off. But I'm just gonna put this literally all over my eye. These shades, they're very easy to blend, so I'm not like being too careful, but they are very pigmented, so I don't need to go over it very many times. Like, I usually talk while I'm doing my eyeshadow, while I'm like building shades and blending them, but because these are so pigmented and easy to blend, I'm already done. I don't need to. I think I'll just put that metallic shade Toast on my eye and then see like what else I want to do from there. And I'm only on one eye. I'm going to put this NYX glitter primer. I always forget and put it on both eyes. Here's what the shade Toast looks like on my finger. I love this type of shade. It's like a very warm pink, almost like rose gold, but even warmer, like an orange pink hybrid. It's so pretty, and it's like one of my favorite shades of eyeshadow to wear, and I'll just take it like slightly higher than my crease, which is what I do every day, just to open my eye. And then I'm going to take that same shade I was doing my matte with, and I'm just going to buff out the edges so that everything diffuses easily. But that's something I do literally every day with all of my non-matte shades, just to make them kind of like fade into everything and not be like a super harsh line. I'm kind of torn. I have two different like deeper like non-matte shades that I might want to put in my outer corner. Of course, I put them in like literally the worst place to swatch. Also, I'm trying to be a little bit more quiet because it is a Sunday evening. I didn't do my makeup until like 6 p.m. after I ate my dinner. I think I'll use this more cool toned, deeper shade. It's like not really a metallic. I don't know. When I buff it in, this is what it looks like. It pretty much has the same like type of consistency and effect as an Urban Decay Moon Dust shadow. I've noticed that Dose of Colors has a lot of eyeshadows like that in like different palettes and as singles, but I'm just gonna put it on my finger and then kind of like stamp it on my outer corner. I think because it's cool toned, it'll like not only blend in with the matte better, but it'll make everything look more like a shadow on my eye, which is like, I mean, you can do your makeup however you want, but like theoretically the reason why we do a darker outer corner is to create depth in the eye. So yeah, I feel like that's a really good shade for that. And then again, I'm just gonna take this shade and kind of, I didn't even really need to buff it out, it was already blended. And I'm gonna put this behind my back because it just is annoying me. I don't know, I think I have sensory issues, but I hate when I can feel my hair touching me. I don't know. You know what I think I'm gonna do? It just came to me. I don't know. I'll probably regret this, to be quite honest, but I'm gonna take, if I can find the brush. So I'm gonna take this super tiny brush from Sephora. It's Sephora collection. I don't even think this is made anymore. But I'm gonna take this gray, which I never use on its own, but I'm gonna take this gray called That's Cool, and I'm just gonna stamp it on my lower lash line and then buff it out. And I'm sure the faces that I'm making are just so beautiful. Yeah, I do regret it a little bit, but I had a feeling I would, and I still did it anyway. But I just felt like I needed something more on my lower lash line. But this is just a Wet n Wild like slanted, tapered blending brush. I don't even know. It's called the Eye Blender Brush, and actually it's from Essence. I don't know how I ended up with this, but I'm just gonna take a tiny bit more of that first matte I used and try to blend that out a little bit, and hopefully this will create depth but like diffused and not as gray on my eye. I don't know, I'm just messing around with these shades. I've used this palette so many times that I feel like most of the things that I was thinking of doing I've done at least twice before, so I kind of just wanted to play around and see where the night takes me. You know, I don't hate it. And then I'm gonna take just a tiny bit more of that Tastari shade again, the first one I used, and just add a tiny bit more shadow around my eye just to give my eye some more dimension. I feel like one of those OG YouTubers. So that's it. I kind of like it. It's fun. I don't think I'd do it again, but it's fun. I'm gonna put on some eyeliner, hopefully just on this eye, and some mascara, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I successfully only did one eye, and now it's time to start the second one. You know what? I'm just feeling really crazy right now. I think I'm gonna go back in with that gray and do like a gray tone look. I don't know. Might be cabin fever. I haven't been doing much lately other than work. Oh, just really quick. You know what, like randomly I've been getting into lately? You're never gonna guess. Jesse McCartney. For anyone who's in their 20s, did you have a Jesse McCartney phase? I never did. I was never like really into his music as a kid. I think his first album came out in 2004 and I would have been like 7. And like for some reason, even though I like that would have been the time, maybe not like his first album, but his second album when I was like, you know, a little preteen. I don't know, I was never into his music. But I recently rewatched the movie Keith for like probably the 3rd time. But I don't know, something just like, for some reason I like Googled him after I watched it because I just love that movie so much. It's so sad. Also, because I've been talking, I blended out the gray too far. I just talked about this in my last video. I shouldn't talk and try to do stuff, especially makeup, at the same time. Too late. But yeah, I got like, I think I went down like a YouTube rabbit hole and I ended up watching a video from when he was on The Suite Life of Zack and Cody, which is like the first time I ever really, like, I knew who he was before, but I had never like cared enough to like listen to his music or watch an interview. But I was obsessed with the show Suite Life of Zack and Cody, and so I've probably seen that episode like 5 to 10 times alone. And I was watching like a clip from that episode on YouTube, and then I went down a Jesse McCartney rabbit hole, and now I've been listening to like his old music. I haven't really listened to his new stuff, but I did watch his entire season on The Masked Singer. I do think he's a really good singer. Like, he has good vocals. I'm still not like a fan of him, but I have been listening to a few of his songs lately. Okay, I blended that out way farther than I wanted to because I was trying to compensate for blending it out too much. So we'll just see. We'll see how this goes. Now I'm gonna go into the shade 2023. This, at least the last few times I've used it, an extremely opaque black. I'm gonna take this brush again because it's like, you know, it's small. In case you haven't noticed, I'm not the most articulate person, but I almost just put this on this eye. Lord help me. Okay, I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna concentrate it as much as I can because this really is very, very opaque. Also, speaking of Jesse McCartney, one of my, this will relate to what I was doing, I promise. Like, the only song of his that I used to know, like when I was a kid, was the one that he did for the Halloween Town soundtrack. I think it was like the last Halloween Town movie, but I used to love those movies. That was like my favorite part of Halloween, was watching the Halloween Town movies. I feel like this look is gonna look like, if you remember, like, I think actually, I'm not so sure. Clearly I'm not that big of a fan, I guess, but I think it was the first movie when everything turns gray, like, or black and white in Halloween Town, and everything's just like grayscale. I feel like that's what this is gonna look like. Now I'm gonna try to wipe as much of this off the brush as I can, and then just slightly buff the edges because this is very pigmented, so it will go very far if I'm too crazy, so I should probably shut up. I think that's as good as it's gonna get for now. And then I'm going to use this like bluish shade here called 10 Years. It's like a bluish gunmetal shade. So I just applied the NYX glitter primer, and oh, that's pretty. I'm gonna go in with another layer because it stuck a little too well to the glitter primer, but I really like how this looks. I think that's cute. Oh, okay, I wasn't being careful and I got a bunch on my lower lash line, so I'll be right back. I'm gonna try to remove it. I wanna do an inner corner, so I'm gonna take this light pink shade called Yes with 3 S's. It might not be quite light enough to be an inner corner for me right now, but let's see. Yeah, if this look wasn't so dark, this wouldn't work as an inner corner because it's not much lighter than my skin tone is right now, like as my winter shade, but I think it's good enough. And I'm gonna do eyeliner and mascara and be right back. So here are my final two looks using the Dose of Colors She's a 10 eyeshadow palette. Again, I really like both of them. I mean, okay, for this one, maybe I would still do the gray lower lash line, but like taking just this look as it is, I'm not part of the Illuminati, but taking just this look as it is, I would wear this to work, I think, like comfortably. This one, not so much. Also, my nails, they're not actually this short. I painted them like half an hour before I started getting ready for this video, and I thought half an hour, foolishly, I thought half an hour would be enough time for them to dry. But as soon as I started washing my beauty blender, they just like, all of the nail polish and all of my nails just like started being pushed down closer to my cuticles. So I look like I have half of a nail bed. That distracted me. But I don't even remember what I was saying. These are the looks. This one is very bold. Definitely wouldn't wear it to work, but maybe potentially if I was like going somewhere at night, I would wear this because I do like these bolder looks. I love that black in this palette. It is so good. And yeah, I absolutely love this palette. Still, it's obviously one of my favorite palettes in my entire collection. The quality is so amazing. So that's it for this video. Again, if anyone has any requests for palettes that you specifically want to see for the series that's not already in a project or has not already been in a project this year, let me know and I'll definitely add it to the list. I already have like pre-selected palettes for this project, so if no one has suggestions, that's okay. I'll just do what I already picked. But if you have requests, I'll definitely choose those first. I always want to make my audience happy. And thank you to Alyssa for requesting this palette. I really enjoyed using it. If it hadn't been randomized in Project Level Up, I probably would have been bummed that I wouldn't use this palette all year. I mean, hopefully I use palettes that aren't in projects throughout the year, but this is a favorite, so I'm glad that, you know, I was able to use it early on. So I'll just see you in my next video. But my spoiler, my next video hopefully is going to be my 200 subscriber celebration palette bingo with a mystery palette. If anyone has any questions that you want me to answer while, you know, I'm doing my eyeshadow, you can put them in the comments. I'll also, if I remember, I will make a post on my community tab so you can put it there. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions. And that's it. I'll see you there. But until then, I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.